I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning.
Elevation Nation Conversations, God Body Sean. All right. How y'all doing? Elevation Nation Conversations, God Body Sean. I'm here. Tap in with me. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Got a story I was checking out about that guy Nature Boy. Yeah, he was kind of like a cult leader, or I guess a mini cult leader. I call him a pervert or a rapist or a sexual assaultist, you know. But I remember hearing about him a couple years ago. He's one of those guys that's kind of part of that conscious community, as they so call it. But it seems like to me, his main thing and what he was doing was he was trying to use his influence over the minds of mainly women, but a lot of men as well, that really had no guidance, no vision, had no self value, and he had those people following him, thinking he was God or king or whatever they want to call him. But it was basically like a little mini like sex cult. He had multiple women. He used to say a lot of wild, crazy nonsense online about having sex in front of his kids and laying around naked in front of his kids and having multiple women, do things for him and with him. And he was also, I think he was also on that zesty, saucy shit when he was doing things with men. He had men that were following behind him in his little cult. And I had stopped following the case a while back, but I used to see them online. They would be posting videos in like Brazil and places like that. They were trying to like get out of the U.S. and they were, kind of nomadic. They would be around in different countries and things like that. But I think they got kicked out of Brazil or something like that at one point in time. But what always got me that I never understood was, excuse me, how were they supporting themselves? Like, I know they none of them had jobs. A lot of the women had kids or they had children by him. They followed him around. They lived in like a big group. So I never understood where the money was coming from. And what I found amazing was the fact that people were willing to follow this dude and blindly do whatever he tells them to do, go wherever he say go, leaving their kids to be with him, or taking their kids and leaving their husbands and things like that to come follow this guy. I never understood it. Like it never made sense to me. A couple times I did hear him talking or speaking on the internet. It just sounded like he had a couple big words and he knew how to use a couple big words, so he had people thinking that he knew more than what he really knew. So I think maybe he read a couple books. He had a little bit of insight on some things that maybe the others didn't know. So they looked at him like, oh wow, he's smart, or he knows something, or I don't know. I really don't know and understand how these people could follow behind this man blindly and just, yeah, I can't even explain it. But I do know that he was a follower or of the teachings of Dr. Malachi York. And if you know about that brother, he did a lot of the similarly same things. Dr. Malachi York, he was a conscious guy, a conscious dude, and he used to preach and say that he was the son of God and things like that, and a lot of women and children followed him. But what happened actually was he was molesting the children and catching cases, and he wound up going to jail. He's in prison right now as well. There's a huge story about him, about what he was doing. and his story behind him, and it sounds a lot like what happened with this brother. It all leads down the same road: destruction. These dudes are perverts. They're sexual deviants, and they're using what little influence that they have to mind control weaker women and weaker men, and use them for their basic sexual pleasure. Let's read a little bit about the story. But he got life in prison, so he'll be doing what he's doing from jail. It says, an accused cult leader has been found guilty on all counts, including rape. The jury began deliberating Mr. Bishop's case Thursday evening after attorneys presented closing arguments. Bishop, known as Nature Boy Online, was sentenced to life without parole. He has 30 days to file an appeal. Investigators have accused him of leading a cult known as Carbon Nation, raping a member when she tried to leave in 2022, and posting revenge porn online after she left. Thursday morning, the trial was delayed because Bishop said he was concerned Judge Stacey Heydrich was spreading COVID. On Friday, Channel 2's Tom Reagan asked the court to catch the verdict. He wants to be present for his own trial, but he doesn't want his own health at issue. The judge said she tested positive earlier this week. She canceled court Tuesday afternoon and all of Wednesday, but she returned Thursday. She offered masks and face shields. He's tried everything he could to derail these proceedings. Let me see. It says, when the trial began, Bishop expressed concerns about his shackles causing prejudice. By returning to jail, he would have to wear his orange jumpsuit. He understands the prejudice that exists, but he does not feel this is a prejudice he has created by being placed in the jail court. He is going to go back to jail. He is going to go back into jail court, his attorney told the judge. I think the records are very clear that I'm not banning him from this courtroom. He is elected to do so. The judge did not tell jurors whether the defendant went or why he left. She did tell them he went to watch from another courtroom. I think they were just talking. Let's get into some of the details of what are they talking about. Let me see. One witness, Portia Wade, started her testimony by saying she wanted to put on record that she filed a complaint against the judge. All the while, attorneys and deputies were warning her to stop. So he has people in his little cult, whatever, in the courtroom, pulling shenanigans and going at the judge and going crazy and doing crazy shit. What type of power does this man have over the people, over these young people's mind? Like, where does this come from? A third witness spoke up after prosecutors objected to a question calling it hearsay. The whole case is hearsay. Defense called the witness to debunk the prosecution's argument that Bishop leads a cult. It's not a cult, it's a tribe. No, it's not a tribe. I have Elevation Nation Tribe. We're a tribe of like-minded people that's built on growing and elevating and bettering lives and helping and learning from others. I don't know what you guys do. You guys are a sex cult. That's all that was. Wade said Bishop did not control when they could eat or sleep, and he did not force them to use the restroom outside. She said he did not consider him God, but yes, he is a Messiah. Wow. I was looking at some of the TikTok videos on TikTok on this guy, and yeah, it's crazy. So anybody that would, fall into this cult, they have some serious mind issues and problems as well. But let's look at some of the TikTok videos and just see how crazy this guy was. So when you take a look at some of the TikTok videos that you'll see on this guy, and this guy's wild, and the fact that people are running behind him and believing in him and following him, I don't get it. Like, this is crazy to me. But here goes some of the videos right here.
What am I? God. Why you look so sad when you're saying it? Sit up. You couldn't fucking be royal for nothing. You couldn't be royal for nothing. Look at you. This is why I took the worst of you to show you. I took the, look at this nothing, look at this regular fucking shit I'm dealing with. And I'm still gonna turn them into something royal, motherfucker. Look at these, you fucking lazy, oh, you fuckers. I cannot wait till your downloads get in. Oh, this shit will drive you crazy. I cannot wait till the certain dates. Y'all energy, ugh. I cannot wait till the
So we got people look like they grown adults, looking like they have some intelligence or some years behind them. They don't look like little kids, but they are letting this man talk to them like this. They calling him God, and this is what they're subjecting themselves to. I never understood why people fall into line of cults and just blindly following behind people and doing what they say and living like that. It makes no sense to me at all. Like, I can't even bring my mind to even think like that, to do something like that. There's another video, I guess, of his followers following blindly behind him and looking crazy, looking zombied out. And
it doesn't even make sense. There's only humanity in different vibrations of brown. Everything in nature is green and brown. Different shades of brown. When you go to the beach, what color is the beach? Brown. Tan brown. You see? So all of humanity is brown. Different shades of brown depending on the melanin vibrating in the MSH, the melano-stimulating hormone that they have in the body. You can lose your brown. It's called vertigo. You can lose melanin and become less brown. Or you can gain melanin and become more brown.
This guy sounds like one of those prison babble guys from In Living Color, when they would say, well, the plethora of the carboxylic vesicular, and we're going to put it in the micellar, in the molecular lecture. And these people are sitting behind them, seriously following behind this madness, just blindly following behind them. I don't get it. But now he about to spend life in jail. That's one thing for sure. They're not playing when you mess with the kids and you do things like that. So he definitely about to find himself locked down with all that brown or whatever until they put his ass in the ground. I think he got life. So they're not playing with him. So, I don't know how people find themselves listening to this brother. I think they need to do a psychological study on the people that in this cult that were following behind them, because I just don't get it. I don't see how anybody can run behind them and just follow.
Iller than me, nigga. I've seen a lot of great niggas, but I haven't found one nigga iller than me yet. Not even one nigga like. The only nigga I know liking to me is Yakin, and he believe in God. He don't believe he's God, but he got his woman saying that Yakin is his God. Yakin is their God, but he don't believe he's actually God. I try to tell the nigga he's God. He said, no, I'm not. I said, oh, okay.
Now this part right here, what he did was he's taking the God body theology, logic, and mindset. He's twisted it. He took it to a whole nother level. That's why I call myself God Body Sean. I feel I am a God. I'm not God. I'm not the God. I feel the higher power God, he breathed life into me, and that gives me the ability to do things as he does. It says it in the Bible. I breathe life into you. And basically God body theology is having a belief in yourself, understanding your power, understanding your will, understanding you have the ability to create and manifest things into your world, not on a magical level, but on a level of thinking something, speaking on it, moving on it, and you can bring it into your life, whether you do it with work or with money or, sweat equity, things like that. So that's the God body theology. That's why I call myself God Body Sean. I believe in the power of me. I do have abilities to create and manifest and move things. We all do on this earth. But I am not God. No, that's all the way incorrect. And that's what this brother was teaching.
He ain't ready either.
Tell
So
me.
then I realized this nigga didn't know he was God. I found another nigga that knew he was God in his mind, but wasn't living like it. He ain't living like it. Oh nah, I ain't gonna tell nobody. I'ma just let them. I'ma call him out.
It's the victim testimony and the carbonation.
Okay, y'all, so for all three of us that care, I did promise us a last part to the last part, so let's go ahead and get into it. So remember when Velvet first left?
I don't want to get into all these people talking about the situation and things like that. I want to show
Well,
the
this will be
clips of
part
him,
2.
of the things that he had going on, but it's just scary to me, the fact that a lot of these brothers they prey on single women. They prey on single mothers, single women, kind of like Dr. Umar. You know, a lot of his following is the single women community, and he's basically preying on these women vulnerability and using it for his advantage, for his sexual needs, his sexual pleasure, and things like that. It's disgusting. But they gave his ass life. They're not playing with him. They definitely gave him life. What they say, life with no possibility of parole. You know, it's not a joke. Let me see. What was another story at? And the thing like this though, that what makes things like this go far and keep going and get out of hand is there's nobody calling this bullshit out. You don't have any, real men or women or whatever actually calling this out and saying how crazy this is, what he's doing, and shining a light on it, pointing the finger at it, and calling it what it is. It's bullshit. They were just letting this go on, unchecked, and he definitely needed to be checked. He definitely needed to be checked, especially when it came to involving young children and things like that he's putting in danger and in harm's way. But this is crazy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull up the story of Dr. Malachi York. This is a lot who he's following behind with the teachings and a lot of the ways that he's moving with the cult-like thing and the whole sexual assault and the rape cases and things like that. So let me see if I can pull up that story. I'm still looking for the Dr. Malachi York story, but here's a story that Channel News 11 was running on a little bit about his case and what was going on with this Nature Boy guy.
In DeKalb County, the trial of Eligio Bishop, a self-proclaimed cult leader, also known as Nature Boy, is set to get underway. Bishop is charged with rape and false imprisonment.
Tracy McPeer was inside of the courtroom all day. Tracy, we know you just stepped out, and moments before we came on air here at 5 o'clock, you got an update on jury selection.
That's right. They just seated a jury within the last 30 minutes. Now, Eligio Bishop is actually facing criminal charges after a woman claiming to be a former member of his cult accused him of rape and posting videos of her online as revenge.
Do any of you think you might know or you recognize Mr. Bishop, the defendant, or his attorney, Mr. Booker?
Almost 2 years after Eligio Bishop was arrested in DeKalb County, his trial began on Wednesday with jury selection.
Does everyone agree that victims of sexual assault sometimes do not disclose their assault immediately?
Is anyone here that you, a close friend or family member, has been in a relationship with what you would consider a controlling and dominant person?
Prosecutors are accusing Bishop of leading a cult called Carbon Nation. He was arrested in April of 2022 after a former member accused Bishop of raping her and then posting sex videos of her online as revenge for leaving him. Police reports detail that the woman had told police that she had joined a sex cult in which her boyfriend is the leader and that she did live together with Mr. Bishop. Bishop's wife and a former member of Carbon Nation also told 11 Alive he had sexually and emotionally abused members. According to the Costa Rican Star newspaper, the group's history includes being thrown out of at least 3 Central American countries. That paper shared the cult believes in nudism, polygamy, and refraining from bathing. Bishop also had a huge following of tens of thousands of people on Instagram and YouTube, where he called himself the Three God.
Is anyone familiar with, or think you might be familiar with, the defendant through his presence on social media? That could be Nature Boy TV, Carbon Nation TV, or any other way.
What's crazy to me is he got kicked out of 3 Central American countries. But how were they getting the money to move around to all these countries and then wind up back in Georgia in a fucking home? And I'm pretty sure the house was leased or rented. But still, even when you're renting a place to stay, you have to show paycheck stubs, you got to show credit reports, you got to put money down, deposits. And it doesn't look like any of them were working. So I don't get it. I don't know where they were getting their money from, who was supporting them. It's crazy to me. But this shit went unchecked, and that's why it went as far as it did. You know, folks got to start calling this shit out, calling it for what it is, and speaking on it, and letting it be what it is. You know, who give a fuck? Just like the other dude, he's locked up in jail too. He's another one of those woke, quote unquote woke guys, and they just spit off a lot of, you know, big words, make you think they're intelligent, but they're really scammers and sexual deviants. His name is Brother Polite. Let me see, he just got locked up. He just got some time as well. Let me see if I can pull him up. He was from Brooklyn. He's from the Brooklyn, New York area. Yeah, this is him right here. He also was arrested for sexual battery. And of his girlfriend's daughter. You know, that's crazy. And that's the one thing that you see a lot of these so-called intellectual, woke, spiritual dudes. A lot of them have sexual deviancy and they're sex offenders, and they're just perverts. So he was locked up as well because he was messing with a young lady that was his girlfriend's daughter. And he also used to follow the teachings of Dr. Malachi York. Dr. Malachi York, I think he had a 10-20 acre plot down in Georgia where they had buildings and pyramids and all of that built. Let me see if I can pull him up. I don't even know how to spell his name. Yeah, this is it right here. Dwight D. York, also known as Malachi York. So he was a black supremacist, a pedophile, convicted child molester, a musician and a writer, best known for the founding leader of several black Muslim groups in New York, but most notably the Nuwaubian Nation. So he was leading a group called the Nuwaubian Nation, and it was basically the same thing. He was molesting and raping women, and molesting kids, and talking that high spiritual talk and things like that. And people were actually following behind this brother. They were following behind this brother. So though the other two guys, Brother Polite, which is this guy right here, Brother Polite, and the Carbon Nation guy, him right here, they follow his teachings of Dr. Malachi York, and they basically think of the same thing, as messing with young children, preying on single women that don't have a lot of resources or access to resources, and using them for their for their sexual satisfaction. Matter of fact, here go pictures of what they built down in Georgia. This was a whole thing. It was like an Egyptian themed land area, but it was basically they were down there, messing with children. But they built this. They built this down in Georgia. I'm wondering, where did they get the money from? How were they getting the money in, and things like that? So You know, this is one of the ladies that he sexually abused. Let me see. Look, this is what they had. They had all this built down in Georgia, and he had followers. He had a lot of followers. He was down there in Georgia as well. So Georgia don't play. They call themselves moving from Georgia and coming down there. They will get you. So I think he's doing life in prison as well, if I'm not mistaken. So he had more than 40 victims that cooperated with the police. So I don't know, these spiritual dudes with this wokeism thinking and this cult stuff, they find the weak, they prey on the weak, and they have the weak following them, and then they wind up being sexual deviants and sexual abuse. So black community, you need to start calling this shit out and calling it for what it is, and stopping it short before it gets out of hand. But just wanted to tap in with y'all. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Yeah, you come with that bullshit. You messing with the kids, messing with vulnerable people. They will lock your ass up. And this brother just got life. So drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Drop a comment. God Body Sean, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'll check y'all on the next one. We out. Peace.
I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning.
Elevation Nation Conversations. God Body Sean.